Hello, Lawrence. So, GM. So, we are going to start with our AMA now. So, I hope everybody is having a great time. And we have some amazing builders with us today. And today's topic is AI and DePIN. But before we begin, let's quickly hear an introduction from all our speakers and about their amazing projects. So, let's start with Lawrence.
Hey guys, I'm Lawrence. I do a lot of stuff for Qualu. We are building a DePIN network analyzing global connectivity. So we look at how well you're connected to the rest of the world and how freely can you move around the global internet. We have a cool app which you can download for free and it turns your phone into a node. And with that app, we can tell you how well you are connected. And we help the people that connect you better and save money, make the whole industry more efficient. We work with all sorts of stakeholders. So that's kind of what we do.
Thanks, Lawrence, for the intro. Now we have Eric from NodeOps.
Hey guys, pleasure to be here. Eric here from NodeOps. I take care of marketing lead here at NodeOps. NodeOps in a nutshell is the leading AI-powered DePIN orchestration layer. We have quite a broad product suite. Within it, you can find the staking hub, security hub, which is scheduled to go live next week. FYI, this is just some alpha for you. The cloud, the console, which is our sort of NAS solution, which you could say that brought us to the market last year as we rode the Node Meta, the Notepad, and the Agent Terminal. I'm sure I'll have the chance to delve more into these. But yeah, at a high level, we are a deep that takes care and facilitates access to reliable and permissionless decentralized infrastructure.
Thanks, Eric. I would request everyone to give a follow to NodeOps. So moving on, we have East from SFT protocol.
So, greetings to all of us here. Thank you for attending. So, I am Hesk and I am representing SFT Protocol. And a quick introduction. So, actually, SFT Protocol is the first fully generalized decentralized physical infrastructure network or DePIN. So, we are a DePIN DAO. And we're currently leading the development of the SFT chain, which is a chain of chains, wherein our focus is on bridging the gap between the physical infrastructure and Web3. So with the DePIN platform, that we integrate the storage, computing, and the content delivery network.
Great. Last but not the least, we have Nijit from Derek Network.
Hello. I am Nijat from the Rad Network, CEO and co-founder. In the Rad Network, we are building a decentralized flight tracking solution, scaling ADSP technology. Today, I will talk a lot about ADSP technology, why it is important, and what we are fixing in ADSP technology. In the Rad Network, we are creating a decentralized map of all airplanes around the world, and we are creating a historical database of the all flights. So this is a valuable data in aviation industry, and we are going to be a leading provider in this industry. Yep.
Sounds good. So before we begin with this amazing session, here is a reminder to everyone to follow Mizzle and turn on notification as there are a lot of question campaigns lined up for our growing community. So the first question is to Qualu. How does Qualu use AI to turn user collector network data into meaningful insights that benefit everyday users?
So normally we come from a consultant background. So you go through these enormous documents full of data, essentially, which is very time consuming. You're literally looking for a needle in a haystack here. So we've bundled all of our consultancy experience into a model that looks for certain things, certain flags, which makes doing and improving consultancy on telecom networks that stretch throughout whole countries vastly quicker and more efficient and cost efficient. These small mistakes, some misrouting or misconfiguration between networks can put whole cities unable to use internet during the evening or over the weekends or whenever the traffic is high. That's usually when a lot of these issues become more prevalent. So that's how we implement AI.
Thanks, Lawrence, for your insights. Moving on, we have node ops. So my question to node ops is, can you please explain how AI helps automate node orchestration or improve network reliability on node ops?
Yeah, sure thing. Thank you for the question. So, in a nutshell, you could say that Nodos Network uses AI to, of course, automate node orchestration and enhance network reliability, right, through its AI-powered DePIN orchestration layer. The layer streamlines access to decentralized services by automating tasks such as node deployment, resource allocation, and ongoing management. AI overall plays a critical role in selecting the optimal compute resources based on real-time performance and availability. So that's why, of course, we're referring to it as the orchestration layer, and it's AI powered. This ensures that workloads are distributed efficiently, and in so doing, that we're able to maintain a high standards, of decentralization, security, and uptime. Then lastly, to answer your question, to further reinforce reliability, NodeOps integrates also AVSs, so autonomous verifiable services, which enable on-chain verification of task execution, thereby eliminating sort of the need to trust centralized intermediaries and eliminating the risk of single points of failure.
Got it. Thanks, Noda, for answering this question. So I have a question to SFT protocol. So with your modular infrastructure stack, how does AI enhance SFT's decentralized storage or computing layers?
So this is a great question. So actually, here in SFT, we're creating a decentralized backbone for the next generation of the internet. And actually, AI helps so much for that. So on the computing side, the SFT high performance nodes give AI workloads, so like training models or running inference. So it this is where we can place it to run efficiently and to have closer where data is generated. So it is edge first, real time, and scalable by design. So it means faster AI responses, lower latency, and lower cost for developers building real world application. And in the other side, or in the storage layer, so AI enhances how our decentralized HDFS system works. So just think of it as a smart file routing, and as well as the predictive data access and the intelligent replication. So this is all powered by AI to make this storage faster, safer, and more resilient. So overall, or in short, so SFT gives AI a decentralized playground. So while the AI makes our DPN network more adaptive, efficient for both users and developers, so it is a partnership that is shaping the future of infrastructure where SFT is focusing on, like what I have said in the intro. So it is shaping it to be more intelligent and decentralized. So it could be more unstoppable in the future.
Great. I would request everyone to go and themselves check SFT protocol. So moving on, I have a question for Direct Network. So how does AI help Direct ensure accuracy and safety in your decentralized flight tracking system?
This is very great question. So to understand how we use AI in the ad network, first we need to understand how ADSP works and how what's the ADSP data. Simply, ADSP is working with antennas and airplanes. Airplanes sending signals to ground, and ground stations antennas receiving these signals and generating a stream of the data. This stream of the data includes a lot of data points from different locations, sometimes a few thousand locations. And these antennas sending information about planes, sometimes 10, 20, 30 planes in the same time. And they are sending information about the location, speed, altitude, GPS position, etc. So it's a lot of data. An advanced ADSP network can generate between 2 to 4 gigabyte data each day. It's a lot of data, and it's the raw data. So we can't just look at data and say, hey, this is this and this happening, something like that. We need applications and algorithms to analyze this data and to get some meaningful information. For example, A flight map is an high-level application which is using raw ADSB data to create a map of the planes, to create the roads, and we can see that map and we can understand that map a little bit. But to understand the all data and to get something meaningful from that raw data, we need better algorithms. Of course, there are some applications in this industry. There are some algorithms in this industry can analyze raw ADSB data and give us some information. But I believe in the future, AI will be used for this. And current AI models are not powerful enough to analyze this ADSB data in the real time. Of course, we can give historical ADSB data to AI models and get some information from them. But to analyze ADSB data in real time without any delay, we need better AI models and we need better systems. So we can get something meaningful from that data in real time. Or if there is something wrong in a global flight system, global flight map, we can see that wrong thing in the real time. In the RAD network, we are working to develop our own AI model, ZBAF AI, to solve these issues of traditional AI models. And this AI model will be focused on only ADSB data and processing ADSB data and getting predictions in the real time. So if there is anything wrong in the sky, we can get that information in real time without any delay, and we can take action in the real time. So it's a very, very important technology, I believe, for this industry, and we are working to develop this technology. So I believe this will be the main use case for AI in aviation. Yeah.
Great. I would request everyone to give a follow to the Derrit Network and stay connected with their progress. So amazing answers by all the panel members. Coming to our next section with common questions for all panel members. Let's have unique, quick, and quirky answers from everyone. So let's start with Derrit Network. So could you share some real world use cases where your project combo is solving a tangible problem?
Sure, sure. There are a lot of real-world use cases for ADSP data and decentralized flight networks. The first use case is route optimization. Uh, Airplanes using different routes to go from a location, a different location, and route optimization is a method to save time and save fuel. There are a lot of research shows route optimization via ADSP data can help airline companies to save up to 1% in fuel spending. Of course, 1% is not looking at a big number, but I want to just give a information about current fuel spending. For example, last year, overall fuel spending in aviation industry was $300 billion. It's with a B, it's $1 billion. And if we save 1% in that spending, it is $3 billion. So it's a lot of money. And I believe over time, including AI models, including better algorithms, we can save even more. Maybe we can save 2%, 3% in fuel spending, and it can be $10 billion or even more. So, road optimization is the first thing ADSP data, the route network can help for aviation industry. Second thing is safety. If we collect a lot of data points from different ground stations, different locations, and if we analyze this data in real time, if we understand this data in real time, we can prevent accidents and we can see the sky better because there are a lot of flying objects on the sky. Aircrafts is one of them. Drones are one of them. eVTOLs, e-taxis will be one of them. So sky is getting crowded, and we need a better tracking solution to track all these objects and manage them efficiently. So this is the second thing the RAD network ADSP technology can help. Other thing is historical data. The RAD network will store historical ADSP data for community, for the people. So people can use this data for free. They will sell API for enterprise companies. Of course, there will be a cost for that, but historical ADSP data will be free. So researchers and other people can use this data to develop some tools or understand the sky better. So maybe they can develop better technologies for everybody, and these technologies can benefit the whole industry, whole world, and we can get a better sky, safer sky over time.
Great. I think Derrit Network is actually solving a big problem, a big pain point for all the airline companies. So over to SFT protocol.
So, absolutely. So, one of the most exciting that we can do is in the smart city infrastructure. So, cities today are becoming more data driven. So, it is from managing traffic flow and energy usage to environmental monitoring. But thinking of that, we need to make sure that the data is needed to be processed quickly as well as being stored securely and as well as being made available to the right service in real time. So actually, this is where SFT comes in. So our DePIN stack, decentralized compute, storage, and bandwidth, like what I have said earlier, offers a modular solution to this challenge. So we deploy computing power close to where the data is generated. So it reduces the latency and enables the real-time AI decision making at the edge. And another thing is we're also using our decentralized storage system that is powered by HDFS to handle the vast amount of sensor data coming from things like public transit systems, environmental sensors, or logistic networks. Furthermore, on top of what I have said, we're also seeing developers build mini apps for everything. So, from decentralized ride sharing to smart agriculture. And thanks to our integration with other ecosystems like Filecoin and Solana, so all of this is interoperable, secure, and even cross-chain. So actually, this is an infrastructure that solves real problem, especially in cities.
Great, great. I think SFT protocol is solving more problem than just data computation and storage. So over to Lawrence from NodeOps.
It's Eric from NodeOps. Do you want me to answer?
Apologies.
Okay, I'll go. So it's about use cases, right? So I mean, so far our core use
Yes.
case has been node orchestration and management, right? And we're already battle tested on that front. This use case powers over 110 thousand monthly users who rely on our infrastructure to deploy and manage decentralized workloads at scale. That said, we're only just getting started, right? The NodeOps network testnet is currently live, and the mainnet is fast approaching. And we're unlocking a broad spectrum of new use cases. The first one of which is templates. Templates are like YML based blueprints that simplify deployment. Developers can spin up blockchain nodes like Avail, Elixir, and Movement RPC, launch remote dev environments, or share reusable configurations by the marketplace. So, in a nutshell, templates reduce setup time, reduce errors, and encourage a collaboration. Another thing that we're going live with next week, which I mentioned briefly in my previous answer, is that we're also expanding into security, right? So we're soon you'll be able to see live on the Nodes network the security hub. The security hub, in a nutshell, is a one-click AI-powered vulnerability scanner tailored for basically Web3 and containerized workloads. It provides real-time scans, actionable reports that eliminate the complexity while boosting infrastructure safety. So it's a tool that is aimed at prevention, you could say. So yeah, as with healthcare, it's always best to get a checkup and a scan before actually realizing that there's something vulnerable or wrong with your infrastructure. Then once again, we have the agent terminal, right, which is another aspect of our another feature in our product within our NodeOps network. Uh, Agent Terminal brings collaborative AI development into the mix, right? It's a cloud-based IDE where developers can build, test, and scale AI agents directly on the NodeOps cloud. So it integrates both CPU and GPU compute, offers a seamless way to prototype, debug, and collaborate. So each of these products directly drives demand on the NodeOps network compute marketplace, creating real economic pool for providers across the network. So once we go live with mainnet from day one, there will be demand. The demand side of the network will already up and running from day one. So it's a game changer for compute providers. So if you're listening and you're a compute provider and you have a stable setup and infrastructure that you can rely on, don't hesitate to reach out. Where I'm always more than welcome to hear from you. And yeah, that's it.
Great, great. I think there was a mix-up between Eric and Lawrence in the beginning of the question, so apologies for that. So over to Lawrence from Kuala now.
The use cases of Qualu. Um, I think Qualu
Yeah.
takes a very proactive approach in data analytics within networks. A lot of times now within the telecom industry, it's kind of the standard to let things burn and be bad until it becomes too expensive and they kind of have to fix it. They see the consequences of users leaving and all that kind of stuff. So with our platform, they can see in real time where the issues are and what neighborhoods are suffering from what misrouting, misconfigurations, where the weather might have done some damage or maintenance has not been done properly. Because it's such a big industry and there's so many players, there's also a lot of different interests. Um, so we are creating a transparent platform where everyone can see what's going on, from users to governments to obviously the internet providers themselves. But for users, it's a cool tool because you can see it empowers you. You can see if you're being screwed over or not. If you pay for 100 megabytes a second and on average you're only getting 60, that is very hard to prove right now, amongst a whole bunch of other things. So we allow users to see what they're getting for their money. We allow users to see if there's better options and generally give everyone the same information to work off, the right information. So I think that's the main gist of what we're trying to do. What about yourself? Do you want to
Great,
share
great.
something about
So I
Mizzle?
think, yeah, sure. So before I begin that, I just want to tell that I believe decentralization in Web3 is a synonym for transparency, and I believe Qualu is solving that. And I would request everyone to go and check out the platform themselves. So just to tell you more about Mizzle and what we are doing is we are collaborating with various data centers around the world. And if you see in the current spectrum, so there are different DePIN projects which are offering competition and storage services, but they are not compliant legally, or they don't have high security certifications. So Mizzle comes into that picture, and we are actually providing tier 2 tier 3 grade data centers to all the enterprises. So what our aim is to actually have companies from the web 2 world to join deepin and move toward decentralization. So that is what Mizzle is building right now. So coming back to another question, so I would request Kolu to start with this. The question is, where do you see DePIN and AI space heading in the next 2 3 years?
I believe I can.
So,
I believe I can respond this question. I believe next 2 or 3 years will be very important for deep in AI, simply because we see a lot of cross integration between AI products and deep in products, and we see a lot of teams and a lot of companies getting partner and creating a real world use case, which is using the deep in networks and the AI in the same time. So we know AI is very, very important in these days, and DeepIn is also very, very important in these days. These two technologies can come together and create a real good value for people, simply because there are a lot of use case for AI in DeepIn. We are creating infrastructure network, but to analyze that data, to process that data we collect from this infrastructure network, AI can be really, really useful. And I believe without AI in DeepIn, we can't create something fully complete. That's why I believe in next 2 to 3 years we will see a lot of integrations between AI companies and DeepIn companies. Already we see some development in this field, but I believe in the future, in next years, this development will be very, very strong, and this synergy will be even better, even more advanced. Yeah.
Thank you, Derek, for sharing that answer. So over to SFT.
So, over in the next 2 to 3 years, we believe here that the decentralized infrastructure will become the default environment for many AI operations. So, you might be wondering why. So, I think it's because the traditional cloud can keep up with the scale and the latency demands of the edge intelligence. So, let's just imagine an AI agents running at the edge of the network on devices in remote sensors, even in vehicles. So it is making decisions without needing to call back to a centralized server. So that is the power of the PIN. It puts the compute and storage right where the data is generated. So with SFT, so we're building towards that future, the one where the autonomous infrastructure supports everything from micro factories to drone fleets to predictive analytics for smart homes. So, overall, or in a nutshell, so AI will be the brain, while the pin will be the nervous system. So, I think together they will be inseparable because I think they will define or redefine what's possible with everything, with decentralized, with intelligent, and even in infrastructure where SFT focuses on.
Great. So I would extend this question to Kolu now.
Hey, yeah. I think the coming years will indeed be super critical for DePIN and the whole space. You know, it's all been fun and the hype is great, and we love to see the amount of users that we've been able to onboard. Yet we've seen projects fail left and right just because, they have a lot of data, but if nobody's willing to pay for what that data can bring them, you can't turn it into real world value. And that usually means collaborating with a bunch of, Web2 traditional projects and companies. Then you run into a dead end. And it's sad to see there's been too many cases of this. So our main focus for this quarter is just to get to revenue, prove that what you say you can do is true. And I think that will be the most critical factor for any deep in the space.
Absolutely makes sense. So there are a lot of deep in projects currently in the ecosystem, but only the good one and the most value creating projects will end up staying for long. So over to node ops.
Sure thing. So the question was where the deep AI space is heading in the next 2 to 3 years, right?
Absolutely.
So I was actually having a discussion on this with a colleague of mine. I believe that in the next 2 to 3 years, we'll see the deep in space mature, but more into a broad landscape of highly specialized networks, each tailored to a specific use case and vertical. So we're already seeing, for example, like examples across compute, such as ourselves, connectivity, such as helium, energy grids, weather data, and more. So I think that this trend will only accelerate as new infrastructure gaps are identified and filled by focused deepins that solve real world problems. At the same time, AI will become deeply integrated, sorry, across these networks, and maybe not as a more as an enabler, not as a standalone feature. And so as an enabler to strengthen these networks performance, security, and reliability. So yeah, it's already evident with some of the use cases that I previously mentioned that AI enhances, for example, the compute allocation, in our instance, energy routing, when it comes to deepins that are focused on energy grids, detecting anomalies in sensor data, or securing decentralized wireless networks, right? These use cases wouldn't be possible, right, without or at least to the level that they are now, to the caliber that they are now, without AI's input. So I think we will move more from a general purpose to a purpose-built space in the future, with specialized deepins powered by embedded intelligence. So yeah, that's my take.
Yeah, absolutely. I think for the next 2 3 years, it is going to be an absolutely quality check for all the projects, whether they're going to be sustainable or not in the future. So over to the next question. I would like to start with a node ops here. So what is the one myth about DePIN or AI you want to bust right now?
So yeah, when you shared this question, I actually had a hard think about this, long think about this. So it's maybe not so much about a myth, right? But it's something that a thing that reassures me. So within the acronym DePIN, there's the term physical, right? So I think that AI that reassures me in a way because I don't think AI will never be able to fully take over DePINs because at the end of the day, like I think it's going to be like an increasingly it's going to play an increasingly important role as an enabler. But at the end of the day, when it comes to deepins, we're talking about networks that are sort of more performant, secure, and reliable as a result of AI. But at the end of the day, what deepins are is the real world infrastructure powered by distributed actors, right? And you can't necessarily substitute those with AI. So whether it's compute nodes, energy devices, connectivity hotspots, or I don't know, weather sensors, physical hardware will always be required, right, to anchor these networks in reality. So, in a way, this is reassuring because I see a lot of my friends where AI plays a critical role, maybe taking over those jobs and stuff. So, it's nice that there is this balance, right, where the power that AI will have in the future is almost gated as a result of the sort of nature of deepens, which is to, as I mentioned, like they're decentralized and physical nature.
Thanks for your insights. I would request Darren Network to
I
answer this
believe
question.
one myth I can mention is some people think deep in networks can only be a backup network, can only be a secondary network. I believe this is the biggest myth right now because DePIN is a new field and we see a lot of development in this field in recent years. But we don't see that much industry leader applications coming from DePIN field. So that's why some people think DePIN only can be a backup solution. For example, there is a Web 2 solution, and if that Web 2 solution goes offline, we can use DePIN alternatives. I believe this is 100% wrong. And I believe in coming years, we will see some industry leaders coming from deep in field, only using decentralized infrastructure and only using token-based models. And I believe some companies, some solutions in deep in field can replace traditional providers. And aviation can be one of the fields. Deep in applications, deep in providers can replace traditional providers simply because we are providing the same data, we are providing the same APIs as traditional providers, but we are providing a better data, cheaper data, and reliable data. So there is no reason that can stop us to replace the traditional providers and industry leaders. So in these days, stakes are really high in deep in industry. A lot of venture capitals, institutional investors investing billions and billions of dollars. Maybe in next 4 years, in 5 years, we will see a lot of players challenging industry leaders, and some players will become industry leaders in their own fields. And I believe it's the biggest myth. Deep applications can only be secondary, can only be a backup solution. No, deep applications can be the industry leader and can be the only solution, the only good solution for some kind of data, some kind of infrastructure. Yeah.
Yeah, as a believer of Web3 and decentralization, I absolutely agree with your answer. So I would request Polu to share their thoughts on this question.
I think it's a bit of a industry-wide myth that Web3 lives on its own kind of layer. Um, you will need Web2. You will need traditional everything we do. This AMA, any transaction uses traditional infrastructure. You still need the physical pipelines going from house to house under every ocean to to be able to host these kind of services. So I think sometimes people forget that this world is a lot more intertwined and it's a lot harder to move away from Web 2 than people think. So hence we focus on improving those networks, allowing a lot of blockchains to operate better and to generally uplift the whole planet in terms of connectivity. So I think you'll need Web 2 just because you want to run your application and just because if you have a lot of data, there isn't that many businesses in Web3 that really deal with customers in the physical world. So yeah, that's a bit my take, I think.
Yeah, quite contrary to other speakers, but I absolutely agree with your thoughts. So, would love to hear SFT's thoughts here.
So I think it's nice to bust a big one. So like AI is only for big companies. So we actually hear this a lot because, but if you look what's actually happening on the ground, especially in the ecosystem, so it is very clear that the tools are more open than ever. So you don't need $1 million data center to build smart apps. So we can actually see an independent developer plug into SFTC infrastructure to deploy AI powered mini apps, automate tasks, and even build decentralized services. So these technologies are becoming more accessible, so not less. So let's break the stereotyping that it is very hard or it's not applicable to me, or even think that it's only for big companies. Well, in fact, it's not, guys. So let's open our minds in this. So let's utilize the available tools around us because there are many more tools that we can use right now. And I can see every year it increases. So many AI tools have been introduced to us. So it is very much free for us to try and to see. So that is the myth that we're exactly breaking. So I think that's it for me.
Great, great. Coming down to the last question of the evening, I would like to request Qualu to start with this question. So, the last question is, which is the one AI tool or model your team can't live without?
I think there's a couple. But if I must say, I'm pretty impressed with the new Gemini 2.5. That has definitely saved me a lot of time the last 2 weeks or week. I don't know how long it's been out. Um, so that is definitely what we've been using a lot. But yeah, that's all I can say.
I think that must be a very common application which every project is nowadays using. So, over to Direct Network.
We are mostly using DeepSeek in our internal operations. We tried multiple AI models and AI agents, but I believe DeepSeek is still the best for our operations, and we are getting best results from that. I believe simply because it's more efficient and we are getting better responses from DeepSeek. Also, we are running some instance in our local environment. That local instance of DeepSeeks are not that powerful, but still we are experimenting with that and we see really, really good results. Of course, we are using a lot of different AI agents and AI models, but mainly we are using DeepSeek for coding and debugging, etc. And it's really helpful for our team.
Interesting, quite interesting. So, over to SFT protocol now.
So, if I'm gonna be honest, it is very tough to choose just one because there are many things and there are many tools that is very much important. But if we had to name one tool and this became a part of our daily workflow, I think it would be the large language models or the LLMs. So particularly when fine tuning the infrastructure operation. So actually, these models help us monitor logs, generate scripts, automate responses, and even interact with user-generated data in mini apps. So actually, have become our co-pilots in our development process or in our dev process. But beyond that, or furthermore from that, We're exploring AI-driven file indexing and predictive caching in our decentralized storage system. So I think that is my answer for that one. I think they are very helpful for us. So yeah, I think that's my answer to your question.
Nice, nice. So, would love to extend this question to Node Ops.
Yeah, sure thing, mate. I mean, AI is ever more dominant, I would say, and everybody's it seems to be also listening from the other bit, hearing other builders' answers, ever more dominant, right, in everyone's day-to-day work life. For me, like it's always the same LLMs, like ever since ChatGPT released their 4.0 model. I've I've been using it quite consistently over the last let's say 3 to 4 weeks. But one thing that I've also started using since it's been integrating is the AI agent
Your voice is breaking a bit.
that. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, it's better.
Yeah, sorry. I was going to say, so basically there is an AI agent that underpins our docs, right? And consider that our engineering team is always shipping and there's new features, new products consistently. And if I have a technical query of any kind, I'm able to basically run my query with the AI agent and it's all fact-checked information. So yeah, that saves me from sort of going to ask my team members if they're busy with something else. And yeah, that's just one simple example of how AI has sort of helped me right on a day to day. There's a plethora of other instruments, but I don't think this is the place to go in depth there.
Great. So, thank you everyone for your time, and it was a really pleasure hosting all of you guys here. And we are going to start with the closing remarks, starting with Node Ops.
Yeah, sure thing. So please keep an eye out on the our official handle, which is NodeUps HQ, and we'll be coming out with some announcements next week regarding the security hub, which will be the new product. So that will be the next immediate thing. For general updates, if you want to learn more about what we do, you can find us at nodeops.network. And yeah, we rolled out recently a new website. You can find all the information there. It's a new look. And yeah, I think it will answer all your questions. And of course, if you have any kind of feedback or comment, don't hesitate to reach out. Our DMs are always open. And yeah, team members, including myself, will be happy, sorry, to get back to you and assist with any kind of query that you might have. And once again, Mizzle, thanks for organizing this. It's been super eye opening and yeah, great fun listening to some of the answers from the other builders. And yeah, let's go deep in.
Thanks. So, would request everyone to go and check out Node Ops and give them a follow. So, over to Kolu now.
Yeah, likewise. Thank you for hosting us. It's been good fun. And just keep an eye out on our Twitter, especially if you live in Indonesia, Philippines, Vietnam, India, Pakistan, Bangladesh, or Nigeria. We have a lot of data on the connectivity of your country, and we'll be dropping some reports about it over the coming weeks. So you can see if you've been given a good deal or you should maybe switch, and there'll be some other implications as well. Other than that, yeah, thanks a lot, man. It's been super fun.
Thank you, Kolu. It was a pleasure hosting you. So, over to Derek Network now.
Yeah. First of all, thank you for hosting this awesome space, and thank you for inviting my company to represent our idea and talk about our idea here. So, in coming weeks and coming months, we have a lot of important announcements and important developments. So, I invite everybody to follow our Twitter account and follow our social media accounts. And I invite everybody to join our community and help us to develop this global flight tracking system. So DePIN is getting more and more popular, and we are seeing a lot of use cases for DePIN applications and decentralized infrastructure. I believe there are a lot of opportunities in the future, and there are a lot of opportunities today. So we can build something awesome together. So again, thank you for hosting this awesome space, and good luck.
Thank you, Direct Network. So last but not the least, I would request SFT Protocol to give the closing remarks.
So I would like to give my sincere thanks or gratitude to everyone who attend the AMA today. Thank you so much, guys, for attending, and I hope that you have learned more about our projects, not only in SFT but also in our other guests. So if you guys are very much interested now in SFT, so feel free to follow our X account and feel free to join our communities because we're very much active there. We're very much ready to accommodate and reply to your inquiries or any interest that you might have. So thank you so much, and please be aware or please join our upcoming and ongoing events and campaigns, especially in X. We post mini events there. Example like Galaxy event, where you will be needing to do just some little task for a share of the prize pool. So thank you so much, guys.
Thank you everyone for your time. We had a great time today, and don't forget to follow Mizzle and turn on your notifications so you don't miss any upcoming AMAs. This is your host Lakshay signing off now. Cheers and have a good day.